It's the history of marijuana part 4. Today we're talking about the legality of the issue. The marijuana tax of 1937 was the first federal U.S. law to criminalize marijuana nationwide. The act imposed an excise tax on the sale, possession, or transfer of all hemp products, effectively criminalizing all but industrial uses of the plant. 58-year-old farmer Samuel Caldwell was the first person prosecuted under the act. He was arrested for selling marijuana on October 2nd, 1937, just one day after the act passed. Caldwell was sentenced to 4 years of hard labor. Industrial hemp continued to be grown in the U.S. throughout World War II, when its domestic cultivation was encouraged after the Philippines, a major source of imported hemp fiber, fell to the Japanese. The last U.S. hemp fields were planted in 1957 in Wisconsin. As part of the war on drugs, the Controlled Substances Act of 1970, signed into law by President Richard Nixon, repealed the marijuana tax and listed marijuana as a Scheduled I drug with no medical uses and a high potential for abuse, along with heroin, LSD, and ecstasy. In 1972, a report from the National Commission on Marijuana and Drug Abuse released a report titled "Marijuana, a Signal of Misunderstanding." The report recommended partial prohibition and lower penalties for possession of small amounts of marijuana. Nixon and other government officials ignored the report's findings, however. In the Compassionate Use Act of 1996, California became the first state to legalize marijuana for medical purposes for people with severe or chronic illnesses. Washington, D.C., 29 other states, and the U.S. territories of Guam and Puerto Rico allowed the use of cannabis for limited medical purposes. And as of January 2018, 9 states and Washington, D.C. have legalized marijuana for recreational use. This includes, as I already said, D.C., Colorado, Alaska, California, Maine, Massachusetts, Nevada, Vermont, and Oregon. Cannabis is still illegal under U.S. federal law, however, and the evolving status of marijuana is a subject of ongoing controversy in the U.S. and around the world in general. Thank you for watching. This was History of Marijuana Part 4. In the next video, it'll be the last video, Part 5, so tune in for that. Bye!